This is interesting. We got a behind the scenes look at Mark Pope's recruiting tactics, specifically with Arafan Diane, the best center in the class of 2026, priority recruit for Kentucky and Houston and Arkansas, amongst other schools. This is very rare that this happens, but we have visuals to go along with what Mark Pope is literally showing Arafan Diane, trying to get him to come to Kentucky. This comes courtesy of Jacob Polachek at Polachek KSR. You can see the screenshot. He's got an article to go with it for the On3 KSR site. You go through this. It's basically a PowerPoint presentation. It's on the big flat screen, right? You got some line graphs here. Chart form of Kentucky, Arkansas, Houston, VCU, and West Virginia, demonstrating the percentage of assists that their centers have per possession. So basically, you got the possession percentage, how much is your center involved, and then how much does that line rise when you add assist rate into it. That's one graph. The second graph is basically similar thing. Similar concept. Both of these are just how involved is your center, how well is he passing in various forms. Kentucky is off the charts. Kentucky is as high as you can be because in a Mark Pope offense, we know they use their center as a hub, and Amari Williams was an elite passer, and they do great stuff off of that. These other schools are not. They're far below. They're way below here. Possessions plus assist rate for total fives for Kentucky was almost at 90. No other team here, VCU, Arkansas, West Virginia, Houston, was even above 70, just in a totally different realm. And yeah, the difference between the two graphs, one was the starting center and one was all centers. So kind of showing how good is our starting center versus how do we use all of our fives. It's an interesting pitch to Arafan Diane. It's more interesting to me that he's singling out certain teams. John Calipari doesn't use his five like this. Kelvin Sampson doesn't use his five like this. West Virginia and VCU probably just happy they got on the graphic. So are you okay with this? This is probably something a lot of coaches do. This is not something that ever sees public consumption, really ever. And I have a lot of thoughts on that. But what are your thoughts on this entire recruiting tactic?
So for starters on this, I actually do love this from Mark Pope. I don't like coaches that don't negative recruit, with all due respect. I think that is part of recruiting. I think you need to, some people call it negative recruiting, some people call it actually just stating facts, right? This is what our centers do compared to this other schools you're looking at. That's a fact. The numbers don't lie. So I like this from Mark Pope. That's my first stance on this. My second stance on this, and I didn't know I would get to use this 2 times this week, but also it's a great time for this. The great Kevin Durant once said, "Who the fuck wants to look at grass when we're having hoop conversations?" This definitely falls into the fact because, I mean, look, do you love this? Maybe. Let's say he does. It is also objectively hilarious that you walk in and you have a whiteboard presentation like it's a school science fair on what your center does as far as assist percentage or something like that. That's funny. And last point on this one, I think it's funny because I think the other coaches on this list have a chance to do something very funny of their own. Because if you want to start talking grass, let's talk grass. Cute assist percentage. If I'm John Calipari, I'm doing one of how many centers I've had drafted into the NBA.
Uh-huh.
I'm doing the first round picks that I've had. How many has
Uh-huh.
Mark Pope had?
Uh-huh.
Barry Williams is playing for the Maine Red Claws this season.
Uh-huh.
Carl Anthony Towns is getting all types of money right now.
Mm-hmm.
All my centers are getting paid. All my players are getting paid. All my centers and players are lottery picks. Let's make
Mm-hmm.
a graph about that shit.
Yeah.
So, listen, I think good on all parts. Good on Mark Pope because I didn't think he had this in him. I thought he was all like rah rah family gratitude. Everybody love everybody. This graph shows that every team means something. Everybody's important. So I do like to see that side of him.
I think we're seeing Mark Pope's killer instinct at minimum. Now, again, it shouldn't be a crazy surprise, but what?
And Mark Pope's killer instinct is graphs.
Yeah, but like, listen, in the last 2 weeks, like Mr. Happy Go Lucky, smile, smile, gratitude, love, family, number 9. That guy. has been out on the road aggressively trying to make sure Pat Kelsey doesn't get his number one target while smiling, putting his arm around him, talking about how much he loves Pat Kelsey. Right? So, like, this guy, I, I'm not saying he's not a great guy. He is a great guy. He is through and through. Everybody loves Mark Pope, but you got to have like this competitive edge to you too. And I think we are seeing that shine a little bit. Because this is like you got to. Look, I think a lot of programs put together stuff like this. It's one thing to put it together. It's another to like make sure that this sees public consumption. Like I said, that's crazy to me. It really is crazy to me. And I doubt Mark Pope was like, here, KSR, post this. But man, I'd have to think twice if I would share this. If I was, I don't know, anyone with access to this picture for my program. Like don't you not want all secrets to be spilled on like what we're trying to do here? So I don't know. It's fascinating to me. Like, when's the last time you've ever seen something like this be like, haha, look how great our coach is to rile the fans up? Like, it's weird. It's strange that that's the approach Kentucky media seems to be taking with this.
Yeah, I wouldn't want this to be seeing the light of day, respectfully. This gives vibes to like when not Kevin, Michael Porter Jr. was at that rookie symposium and he Snapchatted Adam Silver's number. It's given that type of, it's just something that shouldn't see the light of day.
Also, they don't lead for Arafan John. Like you do this if this is a guy you think you're getting and you're kind of victory lapping it. But again, it seems like there's a massive gulf between who Kentucky people think they're getting and what national people say. Like nobody thinks Kentucky's getting Arafan John. Everybody thinks Houston's getting Arafan John. And by the way, from quotes in this article, God, I gotta remember who's Victor. That isn't that one of the members of either Arafan's family or one of the people in his recruitment.
Victor?
Victor. Yeah, I got to find this. His guardian, Alex Victor. That's Arfan John's guardian. I knew that. Victor was given a bunch of quotes that are quoted in this poll check article. Again, go support Jacob. It's great work. But the quote here was he wants to be on a team that has a chance to win it all. Winning is a huge thing for him. He wants to be in position to win. So if I'm Kelvin Sampson, let me get a graph of KenPom rankings in the last 5 years. Where have Mark Pope's teams been and where have mine been? Because I'm number one every single year in KenPom. Now let's do NCAA tournament wins. Because Mark Pope just got his first little jump up ever. Ever. He's got 2 wins in his life. You want to go somewhere and win? Let's do a graphic about winning instead of assist rate. Right? Like, I feel like Houston is the leader in this recruitment. And to like celebrate that Mark Pope is negatively recruiting Houston by pointing out assist rate is like just such a funny thing to me. They unless I'm wrong, unless they flip Arafan, then yeah, this is like one of the more impressive recruiting things ever. But I don't think that's anybody's expectation outside of Lexington here. So it's kind of a little, again, kind of falls on deaf ears. I feel like Mark Pope's ability to read the room hasn't been great. And maybe it's more Kentucky fans' ability to read the room than Mark Pope's. But like, haha, look how great our coach is as a recruiter as he screams about assist rate to a guy that just wants to win that's going to go to Houston. And let's make sure everyone sees this and we celebrate it. It's like something wild to me. You're right, though. If Calipari had any sort of funny bone in his body here, he immediately makes sure we get a whiteboard of all his NBA draft picks, right? Like in the next 24 hours.
Right. Also, you set yourself up for failure too, because they currently do not lead for him. And when he does commit somewhere else, I'm imploring every fan base to do hashtag you thought those graphs would work, huh? Like they have opened themselves up to get laughed at here when they didn't have to.
Yeah, for sure. By the way, while this is happening, rather than Cal doing what we want him to do, which is give us a bar graph of his NBA draft picks, John Calipari was instead recreating the 6'7" meme with Tay Kinney.
It's levels.
just pure aura and vibes and aura farming from John Calipari while Mark Pope sat down and said, let's look at my spreadsheets.
Insane, truthfully insane.
Also, as impressive as the assist rate and the center usage stuff is, because it is objectively really impressive. A lot of bigs would love this pitch. I bet Arafan loves this pitch. I want to be involved if I'm Arafan John. So yeah, it's a fantastic pitch. I have no doubt it's real. I have no doubt Mark Pope uses his centers in a more fun way than any big man coach in the country outside of Dusty May. Uh, because by the way, where would Danny Wolf be on this chart, Cart?
Oh God, not
Possessions and assist rate from a 7-footer. I think I know a coach who might do this better than Mark Pope. Anyways, I, regardless of how impressive the pitch is and the assist rate numbers and all that, at the same time you're making this pitch, aren't you also just making the pitch, hey, come be Amari Williams?
kinda, yeah.
And that doesn't resonate with me. No matter how much he was passing the ball, if the pitch is truly at its core, just hey, come be Amari Williams. I think if I'm Arafan John, I'm like, what? Like, no disrespect, but there's levels to the caliber here, is there not?
Right. Like what that's a great assist rate. Where's that gonna get me?
I mean, Arafan is a big time passer. It's a huge part of his game. So
Yeah, I guess I think he's really good at passing and he is a big time passer. I just wonder if that's like, and maybe Mark Pope knows something we don't. Maybe this is what makes him tick. Assist rate percentage. I haven't seen a big where assist rate percentage makes him tick in a long time, but maybe this is one that is like that.
yeah, yeah. If I'm Kelvin, I'm like, hey, you want to see how many times you get to dunk ball with me? Like, we'll
You
have you
want to
score
bite?
20.
You like grass? Let me show you. He rips it in half. He says, "Bite the floor, Arfan. Bite it.
Kind of crazy.
Bite the logo."
Kind of crazy. It is really fun to like see behind the scenes though. I do wish more programs would do this, even if I think it's incredibly ill-advised to actually publicize this. It's at least entertaining and fun and insightful. Also, I thought it was cool he included VCU and West Virginia. Did you pick up on why?
Because of those other schools.
Because the coaches from those schools are now at Indiana and Virginia, which are Arafon's other Final Five. Yeah,
Ah,
it's
good
cool.
on, good on you.
Smart stuff, Mark Pope.